Don't give up. Have you ever seen fairies or believed in them? Well, it's true that fairies may so tiny to be seen, but they are actually real. The place where they live is similar to ours but very beautiful. That place is fairyland, a place filled with fairies of many kinds with amazing talents. Fairies also have schools and colleges just like we have, but Metropolis is the greatest and famous high school in fairyland. It has all types of subjects which interests fairies. There is the most famous subject, spelling square, which every fairy wants to have and be the top teacher in. Spelling square, just like the talented fairy Spectrum is. Well, do you want to hear her story? You might be interested too. Hear that Spectrum was different than she is now in her childhood. Spectrum was a crazy fairy. She had sparkling blue eyes and a pretty face. She had long and wavy hair which ran down to her knees in every color of the rainbow. She wore colorful dresses and blue sandals. Although she was very pretty, she was not good at magic since she was very young. She kept doing them wrong. She would sometimes turn teacups into frogs or beautiful couch into a disgusting cockroach. Now after school, she was going to be admitted to Metropolis. The day before her first day of school, she was sitting sadly in her room when her mother came inside. "What has happened, dear?" asked her mother, placing a mug of hot chocolate on her desk. "I am scared. I think that I won't be good at this year and I won't pass. I will surely fail," she sobbed, gulping it. "My goodness. No, everything will be good. This is a new year, and you will improve yourself soon if you believe in yourself. Now go to bed. Don't take stress," her mother said. Spectrum obeyed, relaxed. Next day at school, Spectrum had a strange feeling again. She heard other fairies whispering, "Hey, do you see that raz fairy? She will fail." Spectrum at last found her class and went inside for her first lesson. "Remember swish and flick, girls. It is important for a spell," said Miss Berry. She was plump and strict and she wore round spectacles. "Spectrum, make a pineapple. Dance on the floor," ordered Miss Berry, handing her a pineapple. There was a lump in her throat. She took a deep breath and charted a spell. Suddenly, the pineapple grew eyes, hands and feet. With a large hungry mouth, the pineapple monster started to chew on Miss Berry's fine dress. Everyone screamed and ran out. Spectrum and another fairy was left alone. Fairy stopped her. "Who are you?" asked Spectrum. "I am Severine." "No need to know who you are. You must be that crazy Spectrum who causes a lot of trouble for us," answered Severine. Severine leaned in closer and pulling the collar of Spectrum's dress said, "You are not fit for this spell class." Without knowing what she was doing, Spectrum chanted, "Cock-a-doodle-doo, Severine chew." Immediately, Severine was turned into a chicken, crowing loudly. Miss Berry, who vanished the pinnacle, went inside and scolded Spectrum for doing this to Severine. Her mother was not pleased at all. Severine turned back to normal the next day. She said, "You are too young for magic." She kept saying this, but Spectrum ignored her. Spectrum then practiced her spells in the break, at the park and in her bedroom. Zoe was improving and got the highest marks in her class in her tests and exams. She soon began to make new friends and help others. Severine was always in jealousy. After a few months, Miss Granger announced that they would have an annual function the next week and she would choose a fairy to prepare and give a speech to the guests. The fairies were buzzing with excitement. Miss Granger answered that Loveline should do it. Loveline said, "Miss Granger, Spectrum is the one who helped me improve. She must have this reward." Miss Berry, I was hoping if me and my friend would design the stage for Spectrum, asked Severine. "Yes, you may," answered Miss Berry. After the announcement, Spectrum synced. Loveline. Everyone congratulated Spectrum, especially Severine. Spectrum led her friends to a corner and whispered, "Don't you think it's strange? Why would she volunteer to prepare a stage for me and all of a sudden be so nice?" "Ooh, ooh," squealed Matilda. "What if she likes you now?" And Matilda, "This is serious," said Snowy. "I think I know what is behind tea." Severine must be thinking of new ways to stop Spectrum and take her revenge, said Violet thoughtfully. "You must be very careful," Rose said to Spectrum. "We must keep an eye on her," Spectrum replied. "Don't worry, we'll handle this. You go your speech," said Rose. Next day, Severine made a plan with Sabrina. "Think about it. What would you do?" asked Sabrina. "I do. You are my helper. You must make a plan and help me make arrangements," shouted Severine. There was a long pause. "I have a plan," brightened Sabrina. "What plan exactly?" asked Severine. "You could tie a long piece of thread to the two ends of the steps of the stairs. She will trip then," answered Sabrina. "This is great, but we have to take her revenge. We need to think of new things." "I need the plans to work," said Severine. "What sort of plans?" wondered Matilda aloud. Spectrum's friends were hiding in the corner. Snowy placed her hand on Matilda's mouth. Luckily, Severine and Sabrina did not notice them. "I have Plan A, B, and C. Plan B is that I will snatch the original speech from her back, and you will add changes to it. I will again go into classroom and put the paper in her bag. Lastly, before the speed that day, we will spill some coffee on her dress. This will be a complete disaster. Do you like it?" said Sabrina. "Brilliant," said Severine excitedly. Meanwhile, Miss Granger heard Spectrum. "Is speech the original one?" "Well done, Spectrum. There is no need to revise it again, so put that in your bag," ordered Miss Granger. Spectrum was going back to her class when she was stopped by her friends. "What has happened? Is there anything to tell?" asked Spectrum's. "A lot to tell exactly," said Violet. "Severine will tie a long piece of thread on the stage stops to make you trip, but I will remove that early morning when no one has arrived to the school," said Snowy. "Severine will also change your speech," said Rose. "What will we do then?" asked Matilda. "Don't worry. I have another copy of it at house, and I know what to say to the audience, even if I have the wrong speech. Severine will also spill coffee on your new dress," added Matilda. "Oh, I can take it off by my magic." "Anything else?" asked Spectrum. Snowy shook her head. The day before the function, Severine and Sabrina started to work. They wanted Spectrum Day to be bad as possible. Next day before the function would start, Snowy removed the string from the stage. She returned back to Spectrum to tell her about what she had done. Spectrum was revising the copy had in her house. She had thrown the previous one Severine had changed. When Spectrum got up to present her speech to the audience, Severine arrived and spilled some coffee on her nice new dress. Laughing, Spectrum chanted a spell that would wipe the stain. Everything went out perfectly well. Severine was burning with anger at her failure. "Thank you very much," said Spectrum, hugging her friends. "No problem," they replied. Nowadays, when a fairy comes up with a problem, Spectrum relates her story and says don't give up.